And a Fox News alert, Democrats in revolt. State lawmakers are fleeing Texas as part of an effort to block Republicans from redrawing the state's congressional map. Good morning, I'm Dana Perino. Bill Hemmer is on assignment. Martha is here with me.
And that brings me in. Good morning, everybody. How you doing, Dana? Good to be with you. I'm Martha McCallum, and this is America's Newsroom. Great to have you with us this morning. So some Texas Democrats decamping to Chicago. And that's where you saw Governor Pritzker. He's there backing them all up. Others went to Boston, some went to New York. They're basically fleeing the state so that they can deny Republicans in the state a quorum, and that means the State House won't have enough people present to get their business through.
So all this is drawing a very angry response from Governor Greg Abbott. He says if Democrats don't come back this afternoon, well, then he's going to try to just oust them from office. Democrats, they are not budging, however.
We come here today with absolute moral clarity that this is absolutely the right thing to do to protect the people of the state of Texas.
We have a problem. The largest democracy in the world, and yet a Texas governor would bend a knee to Donald Trump because he's afraid to lose an election.
We will not let power go unchecked.
Right.
Or let your voices and their voices go unheard.
Garrett Tenney joins us live from Chicago. Hi, Garrett.
Martha, good morning to you. The Texas State Legislature was scheduled to vote on those new proposed congressional maps this afternoon, but those votes obviously cannot happen now that dozens of state Democratic lawmakers have fled to other states. They are taking up sanctuary in blue states, such as here in Illinois, saying they will be here as long as it takes to keep the Republican-controlled legislature from pushing through a map that's designed to give the GOP as many as 5 additional congressional seats ahead of next year's midterm elections.
All the things that we are doing right now, we're doing it because we feel that this is the only way we can protect Texans. This is the only way we can protect Americans.
Those Texas lawmakers are now facing a $500 fine for every day they are not at the Capitol. And Texas Governor Greg Abbott says he is going to use every tool available to force them back, including potentially trying to remove them from office. In a statement, he says, in part, the abscond Democrat House members were elected to meet and vote on legislation, not to prevent votes that may not go their way. This truancy ends now. This redistricting fight is also supercharging a national arms race for other states to do this as well, including here in Illinois, which is arguably even more gerrymandered than the one Democrats are denouncing in Texas. Here's Governor J.B. Pritzker overnight.
But let me be clear that they are attempting to cheat. And, I think we all know Donald Trump is a cheater. Remember, all bets are off when the cult leader and, would-be dictator of the United States tells Texas to midstream change the game when they know that they're going to lose in 2026. All bets are off. Everything's got to be on the table.
This strategy is not new for Texas Democrats. You may remember 4 years ago, they left town to Washington, D.C. over a voting bill that was stalled for more than a month before they had arrest warrants issued, and it eventually passed. Martha?
All right. Thank you, Garrett.
So let's bring in Marc Thiessen, a Fox News contributor, and Jasmine Crockett. She's a congressional member now, Democrat. She was asked about this over the weekend. Listen here.
Are you concerned that repeated walkouts could backfire politically, painting Democrats as obstructionists rather than standing up for voting rights?
Absolutely not. There are so many people that feel like the Democrats have not been fighting hard enough. Well, I am here to tell you, as you've already stated, I have been a loud voice of opposition to this regime thus far. We have some of the best fighters that you can find right there in the state of Texas.
Mark, I could have fallen asleep, woke up and said, this is the same exact thing that happened several years ago. They don't have the votes. We know how, the three of us, and now our viewers know how this is going to end. But the Democrats seem not to understand that.
Well, what's funny about what she just said is they got the best fighters right there in Texas. Actually, they're in Illinois. They're not in Texas. And what I love about this story is that you've got Democrats fleeing to Illinois when the people of Illinois are fleeing to Texas. Illinois is third in the country for population loss behind New York and California. 600,000 people over the last decade have left Illinois because of their disastrous blue state policies. One statistic from an Illinois public policy group found that Illinois loses a resident every 9 minutes and 21 seconds. And the only reason they haven't had a net population loss is because they've got to take in 100,000 illegal migrants. So Illinois is replacing American citizens who are fleeing the state with illegal migrants who are coming in. And the Texas legislators are going there to fight against the policies of the state that everybody is going to.
So, Marc, this doesn't usually happen mid-decade. So it's an unusual timing in this instance. And there is some suggestion that it could backfire in some places against some Republican areas. What are your thoughts on the strategy of this, the political strategy of this for Republicans?
Well, first of all, the reason Texas is doing this is because so many people have moved into the country into the state so quickly. Last year, Texas passed Florida as the #1 destination for in-migration. Their population, they took in 133,000 net increase in population. They just surpassed 30 million people. So when you've got so many people fleeing into the state, then you've got to redraw the districts to reflect the population gains. And so I think that's one of the reasons why they're doing it. But what's interesting about this is that going forward, this whole population and migration thing is going to completely change the political map, because states like Texas and Florida and these red states are gaining massive numbers of population, and that means after the 2030 census, there's going to be a migration of congressional seats and electoral votes away from the blue wall states. So Trump won the presidency by breaking the Democrats' blue wall. After 2030, if Democrats win the blue wall, they still won't have enough votes to win the presidency, because electoral votes are going to shift to Texas, they're going to shift to Florida, they're going to shift to the South, away from these disastrous blue states. And so this is a major tectonic shift that's taking place in American politics, and this is just a rumbling of that.
So interesting.
California is threatening to do the same, but to try to have more Democratic districts. So we'll watch how it all plays out. Thank you so much, Marc Thiessen. We'll have much more on the redistricting battle because Texas Governor Greg Abbott, he will join us for his first appearance since Democrats fled for Illinois and elsewhere.
I'm Steve Doocy. I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.